Welcome to WPIAL Football 2020 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Tonight it's a battle of Indians, Penn Hills and North Hills in a pivotal WPIAL 5A Northeast Conference showdown. Tonight's game brought to you by Mr. Water Heater, Premier Medical, You Pull and Pay, Penn Hill Shop and Save, Seton Hill University Excella Health, United States Air Force Reserve, California University of Pennsylvania, Crease Transportation, Carlow University Comfort Keepers, and by Trib Total Media. Very pleasant good evening to you from Martorelli Stadium in beautiful Westview, Pennsylvania. Tonight, a battle of two tribes, Indians from the east and Indians from the north, the Penn Hills Indians and the North Hills Indians, along with our broadcast partner, RJ Licey. I'm Bill Navari. Great to have you along. And tonight's game just underway. The North Hills Indians kicking off the Penn Hills. And the Penn Hills Indians will take the field first to start this one off. The Indians starting at their own 27-yard line. RJ, a game tonight which pretty much could decide who goes to the playoffs and who stays home.
Yeah, and it also could decide who's staying in first place and maybe giving Pine Richland outright control in the conference.
Indians keep it on the ground. Did they lose the football?
No, they're calling him down.
That was Dante Pollard. Lose about 3 yards.
Brought down immediately by number 36, Billy Bonzi. Loss of one. The play, second down and 11.
On the ground, Topak will be close to a first down. Be about a yard short.
Becker hands off to number 10. Derek Topak. Correction, Topak brought down by number 25, William Tracy. A gain of 10 on the play. Third down and 1.
Big third down for the Indians on the opening drive of this one. Julian Duggar in the shotgun. Indians look like they do pick up the first down. Cameron Hopkins picks up about 3, and an Penn Hills Indian first down.
And we're seeing early that Penn Hills trying to get that running game established. We saw that a little bit last week against Pine Richland. It was a tough sledding against the Rams. It was a defensive slugfest for the majority of the first half, but we know the Indians of Penn Hills like to get that running game established.
Fourth straight run for the Indians. Pollard will come this way. A penalty flag comes in. He'll be dropped back at the 35-yard line for a loss of 4. Probably a holding penalty. Do you take the down, RJ, or take the penalty and move him back just only about 5 more yards?
They're going to take the penalty. I'm going to say from the spot, which was the line of scrimmage, so that you back him up to the 29-yard line. Let's see here. They will take the holding penalty. They're going to actually go from the spot. They said it was at the 35, so that's going to back them all the way up to the 25.
Moving the ball back to the Penn Hills 25-yard line. First down and 24.
A little bit more than a 10-yard loss there, RJ. Dogger's going to throw, rolls out to the side, throws a pass complete underneath, stepping out of bounds. At the 36-yard line was Jaden Duggar. So that's 11 for 11.
And he could have more yards. Presence wasn't there, the awareness of where he was on the field, and after he caught it, the first step he really took after making the completion was out of bounds.
Pollard to the 40.
Stopped up once again by number 36, Billy Bonzi. Also
And that was just a great job by North Hills, stacking the line, filling in any gap they could. Pollard also ran into his own offensive lineman, slowed down the progression, and from there able to make an easy tackle for only a short gain.
Toe peck to Duggar's left. And Duggar's going to throw from the shotgun. Takes a two-step drop, looks left, looks right, and he's going to step up and take off running. Tries to get to the outside and does. Puts the ball ahead. Should mark him close to the 50, but they're not going to give him a spot back at the 48-yard line. About 11 yards. And that'll be a 4th down and a yard for the Penn Hills Indians.
Go for it. You want to set a tone early. You struggled last week a little bit on the punting game with 4th down. Take that chance out of your hands. Go for it. Ball's near midfield. You got to trust your line and your playmakers to be able to get 3 feet for the first down.
Duggar loses control of the football. It's a bad snap, and they're going to be stopping for no gain. North Hills holds. They'll take over at the Penn Hills 48-yard line.
And that was just unfortunate. Mishandled the snap. Had to still search for it. Defense was able to push forward and nowhere to go for Duggar and the Penn Hills offense.
Now the North Hills offense will take the field for the first time. They'll keep it on the ground. Try the jet sweep this way, pick up some positive yardage.
Number 16, Robert Dickerson.
That's Dickerson with the carry.
Yeah, Dickerson had a big game last week against Kiski area. Over 100 yards rushing, almost 100 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. Had a big day. And the North Hills Indians are going to look to build off that.
Second down and 5 for North Hills. And they'll go Dickerson left. North Hills does a nice job to string out the Penn Hills Indian defense. Give Dickerson a lane, and he ends up picking up about 9 yards. And a North Hills first down.
They just run this little end around. They put him behind the tight end, not lined up as he's kind of like a split end is what they call it. And he does that end around, and he just go to the opposite side. You got 5 one way, go back, you get 8 the other way, and you'll just keep marching down the field that way for North Hills. Donning their gray tops tonight.
Another huge run for the North Hills Indians. Curtis Foskey. 9. A lot they can do with this here. Second down and short. Ethan Marker, the senior quarterback, gets the play from the sideline. Marker gets strung out. Excuse me, that's Liam Tracy.
Marker hands up to number 25, Liam Tracy.
Indian defense does a nice job to string it out. He'll lose a yard.
Yeah, Juwan Brown, nice job coming from the linebacker position. And you see what they do. They like to motion the whole offensive line. They create a little gap, and that's where the running backs supposed to go. That time, Brown found it and was able to meet Lacey in the backfield and bring up third and short.
Foskey will pick up the first down for the North Hills Indians down to the 22-yard line.
And those handoffs up the middle, you're seeing it's North Hills is getting that push off the line instantly. And they're creating a yard or two gap before Penn Hills can even make contact with the ball carrier.
Nice hold left side down inside the 15-yard line goes Dickerson.
Number 16, Robert Dickerson brought down by number 3, Chase Barney.
Dickerson another end around, and Chase Barney's able to come from the safety position and make the tackle in the open field. Probably would have been a touchdown, but this is what we saw last week with Dickerson. Already on the year, 9 attempts, 164 yards rushing and a score, and a lot of that came last week against Kiski area.
Left side inside the 10, a penalty flag comes in. Looks like it might be holding downfield on Nathan Brackman. That was Tracy with the carry. If the play holds, it'll be 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, but I think they're going to go back from the 8. Yep. It'll be a holding, so that'll back it up to the 18. So that'll make it about it'll be 2nd down and about
7.
Yep, they're actually going to back it up even further. They're saying the holding happened at the 12-yard line, so they're going to back it up all the way up to the 22. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Nope, here they go back again. Back to the 18.
Oh, Jimmy.
We already got balls being ball spot being moved around 3 times. We're in the first quarter.
Already makes it 2nd down and 6.
Interesting pitch this way. Dickerson down inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line. They'll mark him at the 11. And it'll be 1st and 10. They'll mark him at the 11.
Coming into tonight, dating back to 2004, the past 6 matchups between Penn Hills and North Hills, it's been the Indians of the West. Penn Hills coming out victorious 5-1, that record, winning the last 4 matchups, including the previous 2 back-to-back in 2018 and 19.
Curtis Foskey, tough to bring down. Picks up about 3 down to the 8-yard line.
And he initially ran into his own offensive lineman, then met a defender in the backfield, but able to spin out of it and fight his way to gain 3 yards. Hard-fought 3 yards, but that's the kind of plays you need to keep the offensive rhythm going and gaining any chance you can.
And the North Hills Indians will want to talk it over. We are scoreless, 4:09 to go here in the first quarter. Penn Hills and North Hills on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Beautiful night for football here in Westview. Just off 279 at Mortarelli Stadium. Pre-game, North Hills honoring its 2020 Athletic Hall of Fame class.
Second down, North Hills inside the 10. Toss left. Dickerson looks for somewhere to go, and it gets stood up at the 5-yard line.
Number 6,
Like Duggar and Barney on the tackle.
Yeah, nice job by both of them to come up from their safety positions and make a great open field tackle and make it 3rd and medium. Markham officially at the 6-yard line.
Coming on the jet sweep was Tracy. Tripped over that lacrosse marker there on the turf, and he'll lose about 4 yards. Went down untouched, and now it's 4th down, and North Hills will set up for a field goal. They'll bring in Dan and McCall to try a 25-yarder. Almost be a moral victory for Penn Hills if they hold them to just 3. And the kick is wide to the right. Snap was a little bit high. I got to tell you, John Green, the holder, did a nice job of getting that ball down. Actually, they have him get the kick off. But that kind of messed things up a bit, and Penn Hills dodges a bullet. They'll take over with 2:45 to go here in the first. We are scoreless. Penn Hills and North Hills.
Yeah, nice job by Penn Hills too. I mean, you get a little fortunate break with the trip in the backfield, but that's the kind of stuff you need if you don't make that open field tackle to force the 3rd down. And now you miss the field goal. This is a chance to get momentum going. We saw last week the first quarter and a bit of the second was a defensive battle, and Penn Hills got the offense going a little bit in the first drive, but then stalled out. And that 3rd down play was really what did it. Is Duggar was looking to pass, and wide receivers were covered basically in blankets of North Hills.
Duggar. Oh, just got a paw on it from behind. Otherwise, he might still be running. Tries to get to the outside. Held for no gain by North Hills' Sam Coldren.
Was brought down by number 30, Sam Coldren. Coldren's tackle was good for a loss of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 11.
Penn Hills goes straight up the gut with Dante Pollard. Gets hit at the 25. Spins ahead for another couple yards out to the 27 for a pickup of 8. The Indians, Penn Hills had the ball going on their first drive. Had a 4th and 1 at the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line, but a fumble on the exchange prevented them from getting the playoff on 4th down to pick up the 1 yard. And North Hills took over from there. They went down the field, got held inside the 10, and missed a short field goal. Derek Topek just short of the 1st down. And now another 4th and 1 for Penn Hills. This one just inside the 30. It's not even 1, about a half yard.
Yeah, we got an injured Penn Hills player.
And that'll give the coaches time to think about it here. I don't know if they went for it before. Why not?
Why not go for it again?
Yeah.
And you want that center exchange to be cleaned up a little bit. We've seen the past couple weeks the issues for Penn Hills at center with some missed snap counts, high snaps over the QB, over the running back. We've seen it all season, really dating back to the Woodland Hills game. So it's almost one of those things where secure it and maybe you just go for that QB sneak. You just try to run, I think that's what they were trying to do on the last 4th down and 1 because Duggar was under center. How often have we seen Julian Duggar under center all year? Not too often. He's been more of a shotgun quarterback, hand off to a guy to his right or left. And they're still attending to the Penn Hills injury. One of the big men on the offensive line went down, unfortunately. We've already seen tonight North Hills trying to stick to their normal game, their rushing attack. Not really a pass-happy team. Really, look at Ethan Marker last week against Kiski was 5 for 6, 124 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then also had Johnson throwing a couple passes as well. They kind of play a 2-quarterback system here and there. Logan Johnson for Kiski playing as well, but it was mainly Robert Dickerson as the injured Penn Hills players up. Dickerson had 148 yards rushing last week, 7 carries, 3, and also had 3 receptions for 99 yards for 4 scores total. And so far tonight, it's been that running attack with Robert Dickerson, also throwing in a little bit with Tracy and a couple others. And actually, the punting unit is out. Fake. It was a snap to the up man, and it looked like it was Jawan Brown received the snap, and he's able to pick up the first down.
It's pretty shifty there.
Oh, beautiful play call.
Fake punt is run forward by number 20, Jawan Brown. Gain of 3. First and 10, Penn Hills.
Had me fooled. I thought they were going to punt it as well. And beautiful snap right to the up man. Jawan Brown, and one who actually signals for the snap. Pick up the first down and continue to drive.
Indians will keep it on the ground, coming this way, picking up about 3 yards.
Pollard on the handoff. We've seen some success on the first down for the running game for Penn Hill so far on the 2 drives. It's continuing afterwards and getting the play calling together. And they're going to, Penn Hill is just going to trot to the sideline and wait to the quarter to end.
And the quarter will wind down. That'll do it. After 1, your score, Penn Hill 0, North Hill 0. You're watching WPIL football on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Everybody sitting in Section E, you are the lucky winner of a collectible, limited edition, red North Hills Cup and face mask sponsored by Team Pietros. Congratulations on your big win this evening.
How fitting. North Hills Band playing a Beatles song on the weekend of John Lennon's birthday, or would be his 80th birthday this weekend.
Well, happy birthday
to the late, great John Lennon. Well, big play here potentially for Penn Hills. They got that 4th down conversion, 2nd and 6. You're able to get a play call kind of set, see what Duggar can do. He's been able to try to get passes off, but the coverage has been tight so far from North Hills.
Indians of Penn Hills will now be moving left to right. And Duggar rolls, throws downfield, and a pass just a bit too high and a little too hard for DeAndre Mitchell.
And that's one of those passes that Duggar has to let it rip. The lefty rolling to that far side, kind of an easy throw to get everything into, and he did. He ripped it, and just unfortunately, it bounces off Mitchell's hands. He did have the foot inbound to pick up the first down, but nonetheless, a 3rd and medium coming up for the Indians of Penn Hills.
Duggar will straight drop, throw, pass complete to Chase Barney. It's wrapped up close to the first down.
He's going to get it. Needed 6, got 8, and that's a beautiful little curl route. We saw that work in the Kiski game. Those short routes, those intermediate routes with his wide receivers and the timing. And there was 2 defenders. There was one kind of front left and one behind Barney, and Duggar just thread the needle and able to pick up the first down and keep the drive moving, kill some clock at the same time.
Dante Pollard left side with a little bit of a lane, gets across the 50, the 45. We'll have a first down for the Indians in North Hills territory. Nice scamper for Dante Pollard. 21 yards on my book there, RJ.
And that is correct. That's what I have as well. And a beautiful run. The set up to the right hip of Duggar. Gets a handoff. Beautiful blocking at the end and upfield by the wide receivers. Open up that massive lane for 21 yards for Dante Pollard. The first real big gain for Penn Hills. We're going to see the first snaps in the North Hills Indians territory for Penn Hills. As Duggar takes this one, hands it to his up back, and Derek Topak, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Right up 2nd and 10, just a little over a minute into the second quarter, scoreless between both Indian squads.
Take the Topak swing pass this way. Brendan Hill goes up the sideline, but a penalty flag will come in. He has enough for the first down at the 25, but there's a penalty flag at the 27.
Yeah, they're going to get Mitchell for a holding, and he had such a great block for such a long time. He was perfect. He was square. He had his hands inside the shoulder pads, and the defender tried to turn upfield to go after Hill, and then that's what's going to get him booked for the holding penalty.
Basically, they're just going to redo the down. Well, maybe lose 2 yards on the penalty.
Lose 1. Well, they're going to mark it 37, so yeah, lose 2. Basically retried, almost like that Topak run didn't really work in the first place, but we're going to get a timeout called by Coach LaDon. Come charging down the sideline.
Timeout coming with 10:09 to go here in the second quarter. We are still scoreless, Penn Hills and North Hills. Thanks for joining us tonight here. Beautiful night for football. I tell you, that North Hills band, they take up those bleachers on the far side, don't they?
They take up the whole spot, and I mean, you can pack in a lot of fans over there. I've been here for a couple playoff games. That's a big band, and they showed it. They put on a little pregame festivity, and just incredible. Score update from the Wolverina. Woodland Hills leads Franklin Regional 6-0 after the first quarter. We'll try to bring as many score updates as possible throughout the night.
And it was on a 2nd down and 12 at the North Hills 37-yard line. Posey comes in motion to the near side. Duggar fakes the handoff, rolls off to the left, has a little bit of a lane, but does throw. Has a man wide open. First down, Penn Hills inside the 20, the 15, the 10. First and goal, Penn Hills. I think it's Derek Topak. No, excuse me. That was DeAndre Mitchell. With a nice pickup. That's a 29-yard gain. He was wide open on that far sideline.
Well, it's that naked bootleg. They faked the handoff to Pollard, and everyone went with it. And Duggar's rolling out. He actually had Topek in front of him, the shallow route, and then he sees Mitchell down further, and beautiful, easy pitching catch. Mitchell just stands still, catches it, and able to turn upfield and bring up first and goal.
Topek straight up the gut, touchdown, Penn Hills Indians. 8 yards for 12, and Penn Hills strikes first in this pivotal Northeast Conference showdown.
A beautiful run there by Dante Pollard. Got the handoff, hesitated for a split second, and then he's able to find the hole, goes after it, and he's into the end zone, does a little dive, reaches across the pylon, and in.
And the kick up and good. 9:31 to go, first half. Penn Hills 7, North Hills nothing. You're watching the Trib Live High School Sports Network. I got to tell you, RJ, not enough can be said about our camera person, producer, Helen over here. I'm telling you, we went to trying the two-camera system tonight. Well, I'm trying to tweet the score. She's reaching over and doing my job of flicking between the cameras. She has enough to do on her own.
Director, producer, executive director.
Setter, upper, terror, downer.
Camera op, audio tech. She's the one that holds it all together here.
No doubt. No doubt. If it was not for Helen, we would not be able to do this.
No.
I'm serious. And we're serious.
We are. We're not joking.
Serious.
It's all. We're just the voices here. She's the one who makes sure it's all up and running, ready to go.
She makes us look good.
Yeah.
Silverman. Came on for the extra point. We'll kick this one down inside the 10-yard line. North Hills looking for a nice return across the 30. Finally wrapped up close to the 25. I think I'll mark him at the 24-yard line. That was Liam Tracy on a nice return. Mark him at the 35. I'll tell you, I love when these two teams get together and play. You know, there's two storied schools.
Yes.
I hate doing the game.
Because you can't say Indians.
You can't say Indians, and it's North Hills, Penn Hills. You can't say Hills. But it's always a great matchup between these two schools. That's 7 yards for Foskey. I'll tell you, this field too has a little bit of a soft spot on Helen and my memories here. It's back in 2013, our son's senior season for Penn Hills. He had torn his meniscus against Baldwin a couple weeks early, missed his Upper St. Clair game, and they actually cleared him to play during the North Hills game, but it was a non-conference game. They weren't going to play him. But Penn Hills was down 14-0. They threw him in. He was a defensive lineman. Came in, had a big night for Penn Hills, and Indians came back and won. Penn Hills Indians came back and won, I think, 17-14. But just remember him getting out on this field here. So, I mean, that's just part of, when you do this a long time, you have those memories. And, you know, I was fortunate enough, we were both fortunate enough to see our son play.
Oh, no, and this is a field that has a lot of memories for a lot of people, not just for the North Hills fans and alumni, but for the amount of WPIL playoff games that have come through this stadium. There's a lot of memories made on this field specifically.
I think North Hills will be tagged for 5. I remember Penn Hills, we did Penn Hills game here in '94. And I remember that one. Penn Hills pulled a big upset, but I remember that was the week that you had the plane crash out at Greater Pittsburgh International Airport. And there was a former Indian on that plane. So there was a bit of a pall over, over Penn Hills that night. But, they came out and they ended up scoring late and pulling the upset. Quarterback keeper, Penn Hills was waiting. Maybe a yard for marker.
Marker was brought down, number 15, Cameron Hopkins. A gain of 1. Second down and 14.
False start on that first down play, and then try to do designated QB run and only able to pick up 1. And this is a chance for Penn Hills to capitalize defensively and maybe force a punt.
Toss this side, looking to get to the outside, and does. Still on his feet, pushed out of bounds at the Penn Hills 48-yard line is Robert Dickerson. That's a tough 8 yards for Dickerson.
And that's also the combination of some poor tackling for Penn Hills. Some guys that were missing was Dante Pollard and Jawan Brown. They missed on the tackles. Had a chance, had them wrapped up about the 47 of North Hills, and then around the 50, and then finally able to force them out of bounds at the Penn Hills 47.
North Hills in those charcoal jerseys tonight in the white pants. Will roll to the right, does marker. Looks, launches one downfield, has a man, and a pass just a little short. It was intended for Tim Legler. That'll bring up a 4th down for North Hills on the Penn Hills side of the ball. We saw Penn Hills go for it twice on the North Hills side.
Yeah, but 4th and 6, that's a little...
And that's like a long 6, too.
Yeah, that one's a little rough, and it looks like Hunting even come out, and actually Penn Hills got lucky there as Jaden Duggar lost his man, Legler, and luckily the ball was able to fall to the turf harmlessly.
Oh, we saw Penn Hills fake one. We'll see if North Hills does. John Green does get the kick away. And Dante Pollard will make the fair catch. And down it at the 18-yard line. 6 minutes to go here in this first half. Penn Hills with the 7-0 lead. They have the ball, but they have it at their own 18-yard line.
We've seen it so far. The offensive rhythm has been there, and they've been able to mix in the passing game, and that's where this Penn Hills team is going to be most successful, is when they can get two-dimensional. When they're getting one-dimensional with the running game, we saw it was not working last week against Pine Richland. We've seen it so far. The passing game intermixed with the running game has resulted in some drives that have consecutively worked.
Posey. So has to go left. North Hills is there. And a late flag will come in as Posey gets held up for no gain. A little extracurricular activity on the far sideline. And they're going to tag Liam Tracy with a 15-yarder. Late hit out of bounds. And that's an instance where they heard the ruckus turn around and saw the second guy.
Yep. And been watching, you can see here, it's been a little chippy. A lot of both sides have kind of been shoving at each other a little bit after the tackle. And this time the North Hills Indians got caught. One of the players got caught with their hand in the cookie jar and throw up the flag and call it a penalty and move it up.
Is that Amir Key diving over the 30-yard line?
Amir Key brought down by number 37, Good once again for a loss of 1. A 2nd down and 11.
Duggar's pass. A little behind Mitchell, but it's one he should have had. But Duggar rifled that one in.
Yeah, that was a beautiful throw. I think Mitchell might have got confused for a second. I think he thought it was going to go to Brendan Hill, who was in front of him about 5 yards, but it was over top of Hill by about 2 or 3 feet. And Mitchell, it was a little behind him, was about right around his left rib cage, but hands were on, and he's got to make that grab. And it's twice now we've seen a Duggar pass to Mitchell that has bounced off in traffic, a little bit of a harder catch, but those are the catches you need to come up to keep drives alive for your offense.
Penn Hills is going to be tagged.
Illegal procedure, charge to Penn Hills.
That could be just one of those wide receivers trying to get a little jump on the DBs, not waiting for the snap and leaning forward, and all of a sudden they rock too much and easy false start, illegal procedure.
Duggar straight drop, now flushed out to the left side, looks downfield, and he's going to head for the sideline, gets the pass away. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Indians of Penn Hills.
Beautiful coverage there by North Hills all over the wide receivers, nowhere for Duggar to look, and he tried to buy as much time as he could so he got to the line of scrimmage and then did the smart thing and just try to let one rip and see if you can maybe get a spectacular play. If not, bring out the punting unit.
Silverman back inside his own 15-yard line. North Hills with 10 men within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So Silverman gets the kick away high. Fair catch called for and made at the 45-yard line. There'll be no return.
Robert Dickerson making the grab there for the North Hills Indians. You know, it was one of those instances where I was ready to say Indians, and I just can't.
It's impossible. You know, we just need the folks at home to realize who
we're talking about.
Yeah. Tracy for 4, but the late flag comes in.
Yeah, it's a holding. I was blatant. It was right in front of the head official, and I think it was at the line of scrimmage or just close to it. And they're going to say from the line of scrimmage, so that's going to make it 1st and 20.
Holding penalty, North Hills. Ball is moved back to the North Hills 35. 1st down and 20.
And the Penn Hills defense, nothing doing there. Luke Pugliese will drop Dickerson for loss back at the 30-yard line.
Down, number 78, Luke Pugliese.
Again, jet sweep this side. Chase Foskey gets strung out, gets picks up about 4 yards.
We get a timeout call by Coach LaDon. Make sure that clock stops.
Timeout coming with 3:28 to go. Here in half number 1, Penn Hills up 7-0. North Hills gets the ball to start half number 2.
Will take place here at Martinelli Stadium tomorrow night. Be sure to watch live as we announce the 2020 North Hills Homecoming Court. Be sure to check out our website for that link at northhillsathletics.org. That's homecoming here at Martinelli Stadium tomorrow night. And you can watch live at northhillsathletics.org.
It's Beatles night here.
It is.
Third down at 20.
Foskey goes in motion left. Will pass back this way. In and out of the hands of Robert Dixon. Dickerson had some room, but his teammates come up and pull him away. Nathaniel Brackman was like, to the sideline, chum.
And he had plenty of room as the DB backed off there. Looked like John Dawson was the man in coverage, and he was about 10 yards away, but Dickerson was looking to move upfield first.
Pollard back for Penn Hills. Oh, the Indians got their hand on this. One's tipped. And Penn Hills will have nice field position. This ball will go dead at the 47-yard line. 3:13 to go in the half. Penn Hills with the ball on the North Hills side of the field. And 2 timeouts left, I believe.
1 timeout. I think there's only been 2 used by Coach LaDon. That should be actually 2. Yep, you're correct, sir.
We good?
You're right. I was wrong.
I wasn't arguing with you.
But nice job by Devon Jones. He was the one who got in there and got a finger on it and caused the wayward kick. Great field position for his Penn Hills offense.
Topek following his blockers. North Hills does a nice job to stack the line. North Hills faithful here wanting to fumble on that one, but
that whistle was blown 15 seconds before that even happened.
Now 2nd and 10 for Penn Hills. You said mentioned getting a little chippy out there. I think both teams are well aware of the meaning of this, what this game means.
Especially Penn Hills trying to prove something coming off an unfortunate big loss to Pine Richland last week, 43-0. Already not being shut out, and they want to make a statement that, hey, we're still in the playoff race.
Duggar rolls this way. He's going to take it and keep it himself. Gets a little bit on the sideline. Puts that ball ahead, and the officials do not give him that reach at all, do they?
Well, they're saying he's just out of bounds before that ball, or that ball's crossing the plane of the boundary. Closer to where they're marking it rather than how far down we are actually thinking about. It's still a nice medium pickup for Duggar. Not having any room in the pass.
Duggar straight drop, throws over the middle, and a pass through the hands of DeAndre Mitchell again. That'll bring up a 4th down. Penn Hills is going to have to think about this one here. Clock stops, 2:16 to go here in the first half. Penn Hills up 7-0.
Yeah, that is one that Mitchell should have. He had the great release off the DB, turns around. The ball might have been at his helmet, but you got to make that grab as a wide receiver. That is a catchable ball. Got up late. Duggar had no choice to get it off a little earlier than he might have wanted to because of the pressure that was in his face. But that's when your wide receiver's got to haul in for the quarterback.
Penn Hills called a timeout. You think they're going to... Their defense is playing well. So, I mean, give a shot for on 4th down here.
And may have not liked the setup initially by North Hills and decide call a timeout, bring them back. Let's talk everything over again and see what we can do. You know, our QB's been playing pretty well. It's unfortunate his wide receivers haven't been able to haul in a pass here and there. And also had the running game going a little bit up the middle, but after about 1st down, North Hills has been the one to stop them. As the Beatles show continues here.
Enjoying it.
No, I'm not complaining one bit.
You see, is that the cheerleaders or majorettes they're swaying over on the right?
That is their majorettes. The cheerleaders are the ones.
They're the majorette. My wife, the former majorette, has pointed out that those are the majorettes.
Those are the majorettes. Cheerleaders down here on the sideline, so. The offense coming back out for Penn Hills.
Yeah, and why not?
Yep.
I expect to see them run the football somehow. Nope. Duggar's going to drop back and kick. At least that's what it looks like. Trying to, no. And he does, and he boots it. Hits it to 5. And then Penn Hills Indians down it right there. Justin Posey got down. It took just bounced straight up in the air. Basically went dead.
Yeah, that ball it wasn't moving end over end. It was kind of like wobbling, so it came down on like the side part of the ball, whatever you want to say.
Kind of called flat.
Yeah, it came down flat, and it bounced straight up. And a nice job by Posey running full speed downfield, makes a grab, and pin the North Hills Indians deep in their own territory. We've seen that used through high school, college, and even the pro ranks. We've seen Ben Roethlisberger for the Steelers use that kind of pooch punt to pin a team deep.
Now, North Hills has to be careful here, not to turn the ball over, to hold on to it. Curtis Foskey gives him a bit of room across the 10-yard line, out to the 12.
Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3.
Coach Pat Carey giving the play call to Maxwell Sharp to relay it to the offense, the wide receiver.
Dickerson goes right side. Looks like he has enough of the 1st down, just enough.
Only needed 3, and he got exactly 3. You might just let them chew the clock up. You know, it's kind of one of those things where North Hills is going, we're going to stick to our offensive play. You know, if we break one off big, great. But so far, the Penn Hills Indians been doing a great job getting there after a couple yards gain to bring them down and not allow a big rush happen.
1st down as the clock rolls under a minute. North Hills sets up the throw, launches one downfield. And a penalty flag comes in on a ball that was way overthrown. They're going to call this one against Jaden Duggar. It's not a spot of the foul penalty. They give him 15 yards. That'll be good enough for a 1st down.
And that's unfortunate. There is no uncatchable pass in high school. As North Hills goes quick offense here.
Jump ahead for about 6.
Foskey on the run and a timeout.
North Hills use a timeout with 42 seconds to go. Here in half number 1. Coming at halftime, we will We'll be broadcasting the North Hills Band.
Oh, spectacular watching them pregame and listening to them so far during stoppages and breaks. But on that pass interference, ball was overthrown, but there is no uncatchable pass in the high school ranks as well in the college. But a nice sail job by Robert Dickerson. He was the one who kind of like hooked the arm of Jaden Duggar and then flailed the arms up, and then that's when the official finally was like, okay, I'm going to call. When, however, the two of them were battling the entire time down the sideline. But once Robert Dickerson brought attention to the official that, hey, there's some contact going on here, flag comes out of the side pocket and onto the field.
Marker rolls to his right, throws underneath, pass complete, inbounds. Be enough for a first down at the 45-yard line. It was Dickerson who hauled it in.
Yeah, they're going fast. They're trying to clock this.
And they did.
So that play only killed 10 seconds. And seeing the deep ball there, Marker's getting them out. Just sometimes a little overthrown as wide receiver. One time had an underthrow. Late sub for Penn Hills coming in is Keith Pellman. And he's had some strong defensive bouts on the DN line.
Marker rolls this way, under pressure, gets flushed, has some room to run. Will head for the sideline, and goes out about the 48-yard line of Penn Hills. That's a pickup of 8. Now they move into Penn Hills territory, but there's only 25 seconds left. The clock is stopped.
Yeah, got time for a couple shots. Still have a timeout in the pocket as well for North Hills.
And as we've seen, Marker can't launch them.
Yes. A smart play there by the QB just to pick up yards and then get out of bounds.
Marker, halfback pass. This is a live ball. Throwing one downfield to have a man. And a pass caught. Inside the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. North Hills Indians on the flea flicker. That's Robert Dickerson on the reception.
A beautiful pass by John Green on the flea flicker. And a mistake by the Penn Hills secondary jumping that pass.
Looked like Justin Posey went up for the interception when he wasn't able to snatch it. That left Foskey all alone, and he was able to ramble like the last 20 yards untouched. Green's kick looks like it goes off to it goes through. So the touchdown coming with 14 seconds to go in the half. And we are now knotted at 7. 95-yard drive. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays. Just under 2 minutes, 1:55. Plum up 13-0 in halftime over the Hampton Talbot.